Hello there, and welcome you all to within this Ignition of Wisdom second part. Today, before we dive into the deep ocean of equality and annihilation of discrimination, I would like to share some stories which are the indication of equality and annihilation of discrimination. And I sincerely believe these stories can explicitly elaborate the concept of equality and annihilation of discrimination. And for those who haven't watched my first part, I will strongly recommend you to watch that part. Otherwise, it will be difficult for you to understand what we are discussing within this video. So here we go. There are three stories I would like to share. So the first story is about Kashyapa. So one morning Kashyapa woke up and he was about to went to beg for food, and he thought that today he won't beg from the rich people and he will beg from the poor people so they will be able to accumulate merit. So he went to the poor peoples to beg for food. By somehow, Vimalakirti appeared in front of Kashyapa, and he told to Kashyapa that you should not discriminate between the rich and poor. You are a monk and you should have the intention of equanimity between the rich and poor while you are begging the alms. That was the first indication. And second, Subhuti. One morning, Subhuti went to beg for food in the house of Vimalakirti. And he begged for food from the Vimalakirti, and Vimalakirti offered him the best foods he had. And he was pouring all the best foods in the plate of Subhuti. And Vimalakirti told the Subhuti that you should only accept these offerings if you really understand the nirvana and samsara are equal, enlightenment and illusions are equal. If you didn't understand this equality, this annihilation of discrimination, you should not accept the foods or the offerings. That was the second indication. The third indication is the story of Sudatha. So as we all know that Sudatha was a son of a merchant and he was very rich. One day Sudatha invited lots of Brahmins and poor peoples and beggars in front of his home. And he was about to make a very big or enormous generosity. So he was giving the clothes and gold, pearls, lots of diamonds, and also he was offering lots of those kinds of stuff. And by somehow, Vimalakirti appeared in front of Sudatha, and he exclaimed that, Sudatha, what are you doing? This is not the real generosity. So that was the Vimalakirti's statement. And Sudatha humbly asked to Vimalakirti, then what is the real generosity? By asking that question, Vimalakirti answered that you should make generosity of truth, Dhamma, those are the real generous. So that was the Vimalakriti's answer. And I would like to add here something that right now I don't think the Vimalakriti's intention was there to discourage the people who are interested to make offerings, foods, and gold, diamonds, pearls to the other people. But he was telling that which is more valuable, the offering Dhamma or making generosity of Dhamma and the gold diamond. So I think that is the only thing that. And back to the topic. So that was the Vimalakriti's response. And there are lots of things that Vimalakriti told to Sudatha. And by the teachings of Vimalakriti, Sudatha was extremely impressed by his teachings, and he bowed down his head to the Vimalakriti. And I think Sudatha was wearing a garment of pearls in his neck, and he took it off the garments of the pearls, and he offered to the Vimalakriti. At first, Vimalakriti didn't accept what he is offering, and Sudatha insisted, and he eventually accepted. And right now, it is very dramatical. I think it's dramatization here Vimalakriti was doing. Vimalakriti cut that garment of the pearls into two pieces and equally, and he offered one part of the garments to the very despised poor person, and another part of the garment he offered to the sublime being. And then he makes statement that a person who is making generosity should have this state of mind, should have this kind of sublime being and a very ordinary people are equal. You should not discriminate between sublime and ordinary person. So that's why this is also the indication of the sublime being and ordinary being are unequal. There we should not discriminate between the sublime being and ordinary being. So that is also our indication. That is the third indication. So that's all for today. And within upcoming third part of the ignition of wisdom, we will going to discuss on emptiness. And I would like to recommend one movie which will very help us to understand the concept of emptiness easily. And the name of that movie is Matrix. The Matrix first part. The Matrix first part, I think this is a very wonderful movie to understand the concept of emptiness. So go and watch the movie of the Matrix, and then come into the third part. We will discuss on emptiness. That's all for today, and have a good day to all of you.